When I first started working in this field, it was in 1991, and I became the director of the Chicago Metropolitan Sanctuary Alliance, which was started in the 80s out of the sanctuary movement of that time. So one of the projects of CMSA at that time was CRLN. It was a project that was started by Gary Cosette when he came back from El Salvador as a way of trying to continue the work on behalf of ending the war and the violence in El Salvador, and specifically organizing and helping local religious leaders find a way to use their voice in behalf of that struggle. It was really aimed at changing U.S. policy. So CRLN was a project of the Sanctuary Alliance, and Gary worked for them and I worked for the Sanctuary Alliance, and we were working together in a very small one-room office. And over the years, our work continued sort of side by side, doing similar things. The Sanctuary Alliance worked more with congregations that were providing sanctuary and also supporting the people in El Salvador and Guatemala. Eventually, after some years, we decided to separate into two separate organizations, even though we stayed in the same office. So Gary was the director of CRLN and I was the director of the Sanctuary Alliance, and we continued to work together and collaborate together and do, things together, but in slightly different angles. What gives me hope in the work, obviously, is the people that we've worked with from Latin America in the movements for social justice in their countries. They just have a much bigger world view or longer time frame or something than we do, and that always gives me so much hope, because they just keep on going, and they have such a bigger vision that kind of brings me to an awareness that, you just have to keep doing your little part and taking your little steps, but the kind of faith and hope that they have, it really keeps me inspired. I believe that the world is meant to be and created to be a place of justice and peace and goodness and what they call in the Bible shalom, which is the wholeness of not just the cessation of wars, but the presence of well-being for all creation. And as we look at our world, we see that is not the case for everyone. But that's not because it's not supposed to be that way. It's because of actions that human beings have taken, and human beings have the responsibility, every one of us, to participate in bringing about that vision. And so that's kind of what I try to do as my little piece of it. As they say in El Salvador, they talk about if everyone carries their own grain of sand, we can move the beach. And so that's my grain of sand, is this.